Hollywood's most shocking scandal just got even messier. Diddy's attorney is officially done, Will Smith is stepping into the spotlight to confirm explosive details, and, just like he warned us all along, 50 Cent is proving he was right this entire time. New footage, bombshell revelations, and testimony from unexpected sources have turned this saga into something no one could have imagined. But here's the kicker. The drama doesn't just end with Diddy. The web of allegations is pulling in some of Hollywood's biggest names, from Will Smith and Ashton Kutcher to others who have tried desperately to distance themselves from the chaos. So, what's really going on? What's in those leaked tapes that are causing panic across the industry? And could Diddy's downfall be the tipping point for exposing a much larger story? This isn't just another headline. This is the unraveling of a Hollywood power structure, with shocking betrayals, career-ending accusations, and a spotlight on secrets that have stayed hidden for far too long. You don't want to miss a second of this breakdown, as we uncover why Diddy's attorney is scrambling, what Will Smith has finally admitted, and how 50 Cent's warning is making waves like never before. Stay with us until the end. We're diving deep into this tangled web of controversy and power plays. Let's get started.
So I think the most important thing, even more important than the passport, is that Mr. Combs came to New York on September 5th. As soon as we realized that this indictment was going to be coming down in a matter of weeks, maybe months, but sometime soon, Mr. Combs got on a plane, left his home in Florida, flew to New York. I called the prosecutors myself. I said, Mr. Combs is in New York. Do you want to know where he is? If you want to know where he is, I'll tell you where he is, but he wants to surrender. He's here to surrender. They didn't want him to surrender, because if he surrenders, they don't get to tell the judge that he's a flight risk and he's a danger. Because who, as a danger and a flight risk, would fly to New York and surrender? So they didn't want him to surrender.
So since September 5th, you had known, you expected it was likely he was going to formally face charges.
So I really knew he was formally going to face charges on March 25th, the day of the searches, when Homeland Security searched his Los Angeles home, his Miami home, and his airplane. I knew that day by looking at the search warrants. I mean, I've been doing this for a while. This is not my first or 100th rodeo, that this was going to come as a matter of time. What I realized in early September is that it was coming soon. And so it was time for Mr. Combs to come to New York, which he did. And let me just point out one very important thing. The prosecutors are seizing on something that happened 8 years ago. You know, this video that we've all seen, and it's a bad video for Mr. Combs, and he said so himself when he gave his apology. This is 8 years ago, and the prosecutors are talking about
the viral revelations, leaks that shocked Hollywood. The entertainment world is in shock as details emerge about 8 tapes and 11 flash drives handed over to the FBI. These recordings, reportedly containing footage of Diddy and other A-list celebrities engaged in controversial and potentially illegal activities, have sent ripples across Hollywood. Allegations include instances of inebriation, victimization, and inappropriate conduct, with claims that some individuals may have been unwilling participants. The tapes were reportedly turned in by Courtney Burgess, a close associate of Diddy's late ex, Kim Porter, who also provided a diary detailing alleged activities. These revelations could form the cornerstone of the federal case against Diddy, adding credibility to the long-circulating rumors about his infamous parties. Meanwhile, Will Smith has been forced to address his alleged involvement with Diddy's notorious events. Viral memes and speculation prompted Smith to publicly deny any connection, declaring at a recent San Diego concert, "I don't have anything to do with Puffy." Despite his humor-laced tone, the denial contrasts with his past appearances at Diddy's gatherings, fueling debates about whether his statement was damage control or the truth. With allegations swirling and the FBI reportedly scrutinizing evidence, Smith's attempt to distance himself has done little to quell the growing suspicions.
I felt obliged to begin with the latest on Sean Diddy Combs, currently sitting in jail awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges. P. Diddy Combs and his legal team scored a victory yesterday when the judge overseeing the case said prosecutors are not allowed to use jailhouse notes taken during a raid of his cell. Combs reportedly had 19 pages of handwritten notes for his team, and the judge ruled those notes are subject to attorney-client privilege. Combs' legal team scored another legal victory yesterday when the judge ruled the music mogul can appear in court without shackles around his legs. By the way, Combs has another bail hearing set for this Friday. I think when we see something like that, ladies and gentlemen, it just gives us an indication that you can't rule anything out. He's Sean P. Diddy Combs. He's worth over $500 million. Obviously, he can afford the best lawyers, the best legal minds are available to him. And when you look at something like this, albeit minute in the eyes of some, he's still in jail, okay? He doesn't appear to be getting out before April or May, something along those lines. And when you see something like this, you're like, what's the big deal? So what? He won the case. Well, take this into consideration. If you have law enforcement officials and prosecutors raiding your jail cell to take your private notes because they believe somehow, some way, you're making a concerted effort to influence potential witnesses against you, all right? And the judge...
The fallout among celebrities. As the allegations against Diddy escalate, several high-profile celebrities are working to disassociate themselves. Figures like Ashton Kutcher and Ellen DeGeneres are reportedly attempting to distance their names from the controversy, with some insiders suggesting that they're bracing for potential fallout. Ellen's decision to relocate to England and Ashton's alleged willingness to testify against Diddy point to the fear permeating Hollywood's elite. The whispers of legal trouble have celebrities scrambling to secure their reputations before more damaging details emerge. One of the most intriguing names tied to the scandal is Ashton Kutcher, who is reportedly cooperating with authorities. Kutcher's long-standing connection to Diddy's social circle has raised eyebrows, with speculation that he attended events now under scrutiny. Reports suggest that Ashton has agreed to testify about what he witnessed at these parties. His willingness to cooperate could either clear his name or implicate him further, depending on the nature of his testimony and its alignment with the evidence presented by the FBI.
I interviewed myself the different men who, were being brought sort of into Mr. Combs and this person's, intimate situation. I've flown around the country. I've interviewed a large number of them. There's not the slightest inkling, according to the interviews that I've done, of anything that's coercive, non-consensual. Nobody was too drunk. Nobody was too high. These were adults in a relationship. This is a 10-year relationship. We can't forget that. This is a 10-year relationship. And it was adults and consensual, and everybody who was there wanted to be there. So I feel very confident in our position.
You said you interviewed the men, but what about the women?
I haven't interviewed the woman. The woman's not available to me. She's presumably a grand jury witness, and we would not, we cannot try to interview a grand jury witness.
And you don't think that there are any other women who are going to say that they were coerced into this, given drugs, and essentially as prosecutors were saying that that's what kept them compliant?
So there are a lot of women in these civil cases. There's been a mountain of civil cases ever since the civil case that was filed.
Will Smith's history with Diddy. Will Smith's denial of involvement contrasts sharply with his documented history of attending Diddy's infamous gatherings. Photos and accounts place Will at multiple events hosted by Diddy, including his renowned all-white parties. While Smith insists he had no connection to the alleged misconduct, critics point out that his public presence at these events raises questions. Was he merely a guest, or did he know more than he's letting on? This dichotomy continues to fuel speculation about his role in the larger narrative. The rumors surrounding Will Smith and his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, add another layer of intrigue. Allegations have surfaced about the couple's alleged interactions with Diddy, including speculative threesomes involving other celebrities. While these claims remain unverified, they've reignited public interest in the Smiths' private lives. With past rumors resurfacing alongside new allegations, the couple is under intense scrutiny, forcing them to navigate a delicate balance between protecting their family and preserving their public image.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
The tapes, content and implications. The content of the tapes is reportedly damning, featuring allegations of intoxication, exploitation, and misconduct involving high-profile celebrities. Whistleblower Courtney Burgess has claimed that the footage depicts individuals under the influence and potentially unaware of their surroundings. These recordings are said to involve not only Diddy, but also other A-list names, with some footage allegedly showing interactions that cross legal and ethical boundaries. The FBI's investigation has gained momentum, with the tapes serving as crucial evidence. Federal authorities are reportedly examining the recordings to establish patterns of behavior and corroborate victims' testimonies. The content of these tapes could significantly influence the trajectory of the case, offering prosecutors the leverage they need to pursue charges against Diddy and others implicated. If verified, the footage could reshape the legal landscape for everyone involved.
The nigga Puff was like, yeah, like first he was amping him to get stout. Then he was like, so when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like we could just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it.
This is
Puff.
Okay.
He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just said? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga fucking this nigga just tell me he'd take me shopping.
The legal pressure on Hollywood's A-listers. The leaked tapes reportedly implicate several prominent figures, including Jay-Z and Ashton Kutcher. The connection to Diddy's alleged activities has cast a shadow over their reputations, with many wondering who else might be named. The case highlights the pervasive nature of power dynamics in Hollywood, raising questions about how many industry elites were complicit or turned a blind eye to misconduct. One of the most intriguing elements of the ongoing case is the identity of Celebrity B, a female figure mentioned in the lawsuit involving Diddy and Jay-Z. Speculation abounds about who this person might be, with many theorizing that her testimony could shed light on critical aspects of the allegations. The mystery surrounding her identity adds another layer of suspense to the case, as both the public and the media eagerly await further revelations.
This trip, I know that nigga said, I'm checking my paperwork today. I get out this money. Damn! Nigga, I spent Christmas in jail.
Public backlash and industry reactions. The revelations have sparked a social media frenzy, with memes, hashtags, and heated debates dominating platforms like Twitter and Instagram. Public sentiment ranges from outrage to disbelief, with many calling for greater accountability within the entertainment industry. The viral nature of the controversy has amplified the pressure on those involved, forcing them to address the allegations head-on or risk further damage to their reputations. Reactions from industry figures have been mixed. While some celebrities have openly condemned the allegations and expressed support for the victims, others have remained conspicuously silent. This divide has only fueled speculation about who might be implicated next, as the public scrutinizes every statement, or lack thereof, for hidden meanings. The contrasting responses highlight the tension within Hollywood as the case unfolds.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs.
Diddy is here in New York, in Manhattan. He apparently came here in anticipation that something like this might happen. What should we understand about what that might mean? It could very well be that this is a federal arrest being processed here in New York.
So, Abby, there are some important things we do not know, including the specific charges that have been lodged against Sean Combs. But there are some really important things we do know. First of all, based on the attorney's statement, based on our reporting, this is a federal prosecution. It's not a state prosecution. The fact that he's being processed in Manhattan tells me that's the Southern District of New York. That's consistent with the reporting that the Southern District of New York had been handling this case. That's the office I used to work at. That's an office that sort of specializes in high stakes cases. Just in the last year or so, the Southern District of New York, just as an example, has successfully prosecuted Sam Bankman-Fried, Senator Robert Menendez. The other thing that we do know is a grand jury has indicted Sean Combs, meaning they found probable cause that he committed at least one federal crime. Now, as to what happens next, there will be, likely tomorrow or within the next couple days, but usually in the SDNY, you try to do it the next day, there will be an arraignment, meaning Sean Combs will appear in court with his lawyers. There are no cameras in federal court. He will be advised of the charges against him, and he will almost certainly enter a not guilty plea. But the key thing to watch for is then we'll have the question of bail. Will prosecutors agree to let him out on bail? Will prosecutors ask the judge to lock him up pending trial? That could end up in a contentious argument. So these are things that are going to play out over the next 24 or 48 hours.
This morning, embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs will remain behind bars on charges that include sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy after a second judge overseeing his federal criminal case denied him bond once again.
The fight continues. We're not giving up by a long shot.
Outside the New York City courthouse, his lawyer defiant.
He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent. And we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any longer.
The judge ruling the bail package presented by Combs' lawyer was insufficient, siding with prosecutors who called Combs a threat to society, adding there is no condition that would assure that the rapper would not obstruct justice. A major topic of discussion ahead of the ruling, this troubled 2016 video that shows Combs brutally beating his then-girlfriend, singer Cassie, who prosecutors say was attempting to escape from one of Combs' so-called freak-offs, elaborated coerced sex parties that he often recorded.
What's next for Diddy and his associates? As the FBI continues its investigation, the focus remains on uncovering the full extent of Diddy's alleged activities. Additional subpoenas, testimonies, and potential charges are expected as authorities work to piece together the puzzle. The outcome of the investigation could set a precedent for future cases involving high-profile individuals, reinforcing the importance of accountability in the entertainment world. The allegations against Diddy and his associates have sparked broader discussions about the culture of silence and complicity in Hollywood. Industry insiders are calling for systemic changes to prevent future abuses of power, while fans demand transparency and justice. This reckoning could lead to lasting reforms, forcing the entertainment industry to confront its darker side and prioritize the safety and well-being of its members. The stakes are high for everyone involved. For Diddy, a guilty verdict could mean the end of his career and significant legal consequences. For others implicated in the tapes and allegations, the fallout could range from public disgrace to criminal charges. As the case continues to unfold, its impact will likely reverberate far beyond Hollywood, serving as a cautionary tale for industries worldwide.
Breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges are unclear as of this moment. Joining us now is CNN's entertainment reporter Elizabeth Wagmeister, and also with us CNN chief legal correspondent Ellie Honig. Elizabeth, you were a big part of revealing some details about Diddy's conduct in private over the course of the last couple of months. That video led to a lot more scrutiny on what he has been accused of. What do we know at this point about what this case might ultimately be about?
Abby, at the moment, we don't know what the charges are. I have information that he was arrested tonight at a Manhattan hotel. He is currently being processed. I heard from his attorney they are still maintaining his innocence. They said that in anticipation of these charges that Diddy relocated to New York last week.
Disgraced music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, once known for his lavish lifestyle and living large in his multi-million-dollar mansions, has a new home as he awaits trial in his federal sex trafficking case. Last week, the Bad Boy founder's defense team unsuccessfully fought to keep the music producer out of federal jail after his arrest. Now his new digs once house other high-profile inmates, including R. Kelly, Fetty Wap, Sam Bankman-Fried, and Ghislaine Maxwell. Diddy is currently housed at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, a stark difference from the glitz, glamour, and wealth in Hollywood and Star Island in Miami Beach, Florida. But MDC Brooklyn has been described as hell on earth, with horrifying conditions. The facility, which now houses Diddy, opened in the early 90s and is the only federal jail in New York City after the Bureau of Prisons closed its Metropolitan Correctional Center in 2021 after many issues came to light in the wake of Jeffrey Epstein's suicide just 2 years earlier.
And there you have it, the shocking revelations that are shaking Hollywood to its core. Diddy's attorney is left scrambling. Will Smith's denials are raising more questions than answers. And 50 Cent's bold claims have never seemed more relevant. From leaked tapes to celebrity testimonies, this is a saga that's far from over. As the FBI digs deeper and the evidence continues to pile up, the stakes are higher than ever for everyone involved. Will this scandal change Hollywood forever? Could it bring long overdue accountability to the industry's darkest corners? One thing is certain, this story is just getting started, and we'll be here to cover every twist and turn.
To get to the latest on Combs, his children speaking out overnight, and another accuser has come forward. Aaron Katursky has been tracking all this for us. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Michael. Combs and Sam Bankman-Fried are sharing a dormitory-style unit in protective custody in jail. Strange bedfellows in jail. And now his children this morning are speaking out. This morning, the children of Sean Diddy Combs are speaking out for the first time since their father's arrest last week. 4 of Combs' 7 children writing on Instagram, "We have seen so many hurtful and false rumors circulating about our parents, Kim Porter and Sean Combs' relationship, as well as about our mom's tragic passing, that we feel the need to speak out. Claims that our mom wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not, and anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves." A 60-page unverified book published earlier this month claimed to be the collection of diaries of Porter, who died at the age of 47 in 2018. The children, who don't mention their father's arrest in the statement, go on to write, "Our mother should be remembered for the beautiful, strong, kind, and loving woman she was. Her memory should not be tainted by horrific conspiracy theories."
What do you think about the allegations, the tapes, and the shocking celebrity fallout? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on this unfolding drama. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.